Hello everybody, it's great to be back. Just double checking if we have sound and everything over here. We are live again, back. Thank you so much for being here. If you're seeing this right now or if you're seeing that later. I'm sorry for being away for quite a bit, a couple weeks, but I have been extremely busy with concerts and projects and such, so I couldn't be here on Saturday morning, but today I'm lucky to be here without a little rush, because I gotta go to play in the mountains, the Snow Mass, right after this gig. So right after this live stream I gotta travel, so it's gonna be a little intense, but I really wanted to be here with you all because it's been a while, and we got a lot to talk about today on this live stream. You know, I'm really happy to be back on our meetings here on Saturday. You're welcome to say hi if you want, or a question, whatever, you know, if you already have any. Today we're gonna talk about, one of my favorite tunes of all time, and not only to listen to appreciate, but also to play, to work on it. I have been playing that song for many years, and we're gonna look at this tune today, like in detail. Hello from Korea. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate Hongjo Lee. Thanks for being here on the stream with us. Hello, Mark. How's it going, my friend? Mark is a member of the Brazilian Institute. Never missed a stream here. So let's get right into it. Today, the composition we are exploring is one of my favorite tunes, as I said before, a classic. This is by the great dynamic duo, my favorite dynamic duo, Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays. Those guys, they wrote a beautiful body of work together. And this one is not different. This is the beautiful tune called James. And for those who don't know the tune, or don't know the title, this is dedicated to the great James Taylor, hence the title James. So there is a lot to cover on this tune, and I probably will even leave his stuff out because there's so much that you can do with this tune. But let's try to focus on our particular neck of the woods here, which is the Sambafying thing, if this tune will, fly as a Brazilian guitar type of thing. Let's take a look at that. Frank is already also on the stream. Thank you so much, Frank, for being here with us. Let's go right into it and take a look at this tune and see what this tune can offer us. So here we have the tune, kind of more or less, I guess. Hopefully, the copy I have is really not awesome. That's actually the copy I used to play. There's like a bunch of notes here for myself, but you'll be able to get an idea. So this tune, has a has an intro, which is made by Lyle, which is a beautiful introduction, and it goes something like this. Play this better, right? I played this thing 200 times and it's not good. And then the tune starts, right? So the tune, it's really happy, I would say. It's really major, it's beautiful. So I'll try to play a little bit of a chord melody type of thing here. Most people play, and then we start exploring the groove and things like that, and really check out if this tune can fly as a Sambafied version. So something like, ooh man, what's going on? play the melody and play the chords to be easy, to not get super guitar oriented. So it'll be something like that, right? And then you have the infamous bridge, which is beautiful and tricky to play over. We're gonna go through that as well. So the bridge, that's it, right? And then the tune carries on to the last A. And there's a few tricks here. There's a particular Lyle Mays thing here, which is, I love it. In so many songs he does this, and he did on that one. So it's here. Okay, what's that special about that part? It's special because he's using a dominant chord here. Two dominant chords. Man, what's going on with my throat? Give me a second here so I can solve this. All right, I hope it's better now. I didn't want to blow out your noise, your ears with me like. There's a really cool thing he does here. Remember that this tone is D major and G major, right? D major, G major. And then on the very last A, he does, which is a really common Lyle trick that he uses a lot, and he used it here. So it's really awesome. So this is the tune, basically, right? You probably know this tune by now. Let's get right into the actual Sambafying thing. All right. Oh, he also shows on Facebook. First on YouTube, we're now watching both. Yes, we are streaming on Facebook, on YouTube. We are streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on whatever is possible, my friend. We are streaming. Okay, cool. As far as the groove on this thing, let's kind of go first part, the Sambafying thing, like the groove. How can we make this dance? Well, the tune itself already gives a lot of hints for us as far as the ability to groove and to dance. So this song is one that I play quite a bit. I have a video playing this song on YouTube. You can check out. I recorded me playing like a few years ago, but I'm constantly playing this song, and I am constantly finding new things, you know, because it's such a great tune. You always have something to discover on this tune. And so let's just kind of get updated on the recent discoveries. So as far as the groove, if you play that as a samba right away, you won't have much trouble if you're just comping. It fits really well. The problem here, quote unquote problem, to solve here is that these chords are all anticipated, you know. So everything's anticipated as far as how the harmony is moving. But that is not necessarily a bad thing for us. Actually, it's a great thing. But it just anticipates a lot all the time. Most of the sort of the harmonic, underpinning of this song. So what we do in a situation like that, as far as playing the melody and playing the grooves, and when something that is anticipating all the time, like that, right? We welcome anticipation and syncopation, as we have been saying on these live streams, but when it's like all the time, non-stop, then we have to do something about it, and I'm going to explain that. But we have a question by Mark, that is also an important question to address. What does even eights mean? Mark, even eights means that we are operating under non-swung 8 notes, right? Because most of this tradition there by Pat and all those people is more swung 8 notes. In the notation, is sort of implied that there's a swing 8 note, right? The jazz kind of swing 8 note, the triplet, right? Right? That the notes, 8 notes are swung. So this is making clear that this tune is supposed to play in even 8s, which means straight 8s. That's also another term that you see all the time. Straight 8s or even 8s, which means the 8 notes are not swung. So that's what it means, even 8s. Cool. So let's go back to my my screen here so you can see my whole ugly face here. So as I said before, the harmony moves in a way that is all anticipated all the time. Like all the time. So there is a sort of a solution, a magic potion against that when you play the groove. And the way we do that, to kind of like go along with that, to play along with that, is to, instead of thinking of a samba groove or bossa nova, we think of a choro groove, which I showed either last stream or a couple streams back, which is the idea of that constant 16 notes, and you take the first one for the bass, right? Right? That's one sort of rhythmic foundation that you can set there to play this, right? Another step to do that is to actually, oh, here comes a sneeze, sorry. When you insert the so-called Brazilian syncopation figure into this groove, that's another way to do that, which means 4 16 notes, right? You play the bass in one and then the 3 other notes with the chords. If you connect the second and the third, you have the figure. So that's the main groove we'll play here. That's a good way to do that. Why? Because it will work great with these anticipations. Check out. I'm comping through the whole thing, acknowledging all the anticipations, and it works great. So the only thing that is going to happen now with the anticipations is that when you have this Brazilian syncopation figure connected with another one, the anticipations in the harmony will generate a tie between them, right? We have ti ta ta ti ta ta, and then there's a tie in the middle. Ti ding da ding da ding ding da ding da. Right? On this case, everything gets anticipated in terms of the harmony, so you will get basically a total syncopation thing. So everything, all those figures combined will be a tie in the middle of the bar, and then from one bar to the next bar, there's gonna be one, and so on and so forth. So then you have 1 and 2 and with anticipation and ties, you have something like this: 1, 2, 3, So now I can play the melody finally using that particular framework or rhythm. So I will play step by step, right? If you want to follow the method, right, the 3-layer system. So what you have to do is, again, take the melody, put against the bass. You can play it in this octave here, or you can play octave higher, which is usually what I do on this one, because it gets more of a guitar, very oriented type of harmony, which is great. But I'll play it both ways. So it'll be 1 and 2 and. It's kind of low to play, right? But the bridge will be. You see that I do have the same similar syncopation going on, where the melody is anticipated and the bass is foundational. So it all works just like the other one. So if I play the first part of the melody up high, as I usually would play, it would be something like this. I'm doing this. Yeah, sorry. You see that the bass is always on 1 and 2, always on 1 and 2, and that syncopation just taken care of by the melody. So again, 1 and 2 and. The character of this melody, it's a different one compared to like a regular real book chart and stuff like that, a jazz standard. So you have this sort of jumps to the high register that I have to kind of match with the harmony. That's why my bass is going so low here, because I will need that chord kind of tied together here, this voicing, to be able to play this. And this part, this sort of D major-ish thing, I need to, get these basses nearby the places that I am playing the register. That's why I'm playing here. Bridge one more time. Again, once I get this, it's very easy to get things going. Then I can do, I will do the reinforcement of that anticipation that I told you that happens harmonically. Just put some of the chords at the middle layer, right? Just kind of go to support the melody. So. That's it. Then I can just play. Bridge. So the very ending, that little tag, that part here you can do in two ways. You can either keep the flow of the bass, like dum, boom, boom, and keep some sort of idea of groove still going on, or you can go with the anticipations and make them kind of hits, you know, ba, bing, ba, ba, bing, bing, ba. I'm always asking the ending, right? Ba, da, da, ba. That's a hit. So you can do that. But for that, you obviously have to stop the groove to do that. So there will be. Right? Or. See that I kept the flow of the groove going. So you can go both ways. Whatever you feel better, whatever feels better for you. I play both ways. Sometimes I do the groove thing, sometimes I keep and do like a hit type thing. Definitely at the end, I kind of go for more of a hit bass, because I am going to the end anyways, right? So, Sambafying wise, that's how we do it. You get the 8/16, the Brazilian syncopation figure all over the groove, you know. And that is a great one for things that kind of lead into one at a time. In this case, everything's anticipated, and when you have that thing, if you insert that figure there, everything else will end it up in the grand scheme of things will be ties between this figure in the middle and between bars, right? And also between beats, like beat 1, beat 2, there will be a tie there, ti ti da ti da. And then if you keep going the bars, you anticipate the end of one bar to another bar. So we have a ding ding ba big ba big ba big ba big ba ba ba. Very similar to what I call a total syncopation, right? I actually have an exercise in the Brazilian Guitar Institute about that, the total syncopation drill. That here is a scenario where that happens, but you need that, in this case, the harmony is being anticipated all the time. So that short kind of groove is, I think, will be the most effective here. So it will be. And then in a few spots, like for a very short time, when the melody is a little long, you can play a little bit of the groove, which is still the same, just to fill in the gap. So we have for that little long, you know. So on and so forth, right? That's it. That's the Sambafying process in this tune, James. The tune is already really kind of prone to that particular type of thing that I do here. So it works great, and you won't have any hard time dealing with this tune in this style. So go for it, and it's gonna sound great. Cool. That's the first part. Now let's talk a little bit about the harmony of this thing. The intro is beautiful, as you can see. Let me go back to the part here so we can take a look at it. We have the D sharp 6, and then becomes a B major of a D sharp, right? Nice. Each of there's a nice chromatic thing going on. Beautiful. Lyle Mays, genius, did this intro, so it's beautiful. And the melody goes on this like descending curve as well. So in terms of the harmony, we went through that. The bridge, I think, is something worth talking about because it's beautiful, and that can give you different paths. If you change the chords a little bit, it can kind of give you different things to play over. So the bridge, that's F sharp 7 over A sharp. This is the third on the bass, right? That's this chord with this bass. That is kind of a diminished, sound, Let me go back to this one. If you go from here, if you read what is written, which is F sharp over A sharp, F sharp 7 over A sharp. So we have, if you put the flat 9, it's a diminished chord. So you can think of a diminished chord if you want, or just a triad with the third in the bass, which is also beautiful. Then continues A over C sharp, or you can think of with the 7, here you have a C sharp over, I don't know how he calls this one. Yeah, a C sharp over F, which is C sharp over C sharp over E sharp technically, right? But if you use a 7th in the chord, you have that same kind of diminished possibility. It becomes like an F diminished to F sharp. Then E over G sharp. So it's a really ascending thing with this third in the bass harmony. It's a dominant tonic relationship with the inversion, which gets a nice diatonic path, which is beautiful. See, we get to A, which is beautiful. And then backwards, third inversion, based on the 7th, then D minor, G major of F sharp, B minor, E minor. On the original one, he does play this A major here. I personally never play that one. I just kind of keep it E minor because I have a lot of stuff to play over that, but you're welcome to do that. So, and then which is basically the same thing, right? And then we go to the less A, the same thing. Oh, by the way, when you get to the end, Lyle has this sort of inner voice thing, which is beautiful. He does like underneath everything, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. I always try to play that when I can. And then you get to that altered variation of that D major over G major, which is really beautiful. It's a Lyle thing. He does the dominant instead of major. So he does, which is a beautiful color that he gets there just out of these two chords. You have so much of the D major, G major. He does dominant. So beautiful. As far as tricks that you can do here, we got Peter Stolzman tuning in from New York City. Thank you, my friend, for tuning in from the Big Apple. Peter Stolzman, we do play that song together, don't we? We have so much fun playing this song together. And all these tricks that I am sharing here, we do them live, which is really cool. Peter has a lot of insight on that tune too. So if you're welcome, my friend, to jump in and share some thoughts, you're more than welcome to. So tricks that you can use on the bridge, for instance, you can kind of do an altered versions of those chords, which is cool. Instead of all those dominants are sort of like a 5/1s that the chord are going to with the third in the bass, you can make them kind of altered. So it's another possibility. It's kind of out there, but you can use it. Sometimes I sprinkle some of that in there. I would say most commonly the diminished version of those chords works great, really in tune with the original harmony. Some ones that will like really weird, but you can do it. Others works better than ones work better than others. It works, if you know how to manage it. It's just it can be even like an improvisational sort of tactics that you can use in the middle of the solo. Ooh, you can do that. That's sometimes like when I get lucky, I feel those and I play, but not all the time. You can do that, or the diminished thing, which really helps to move the harmony in places, but other places kind of get weird, This one, not so much. Definitely this one. This is the weird one, but there are other possibilities. Peter shares some stuff here. Ooh, I never did that one, but I like it. Okay, well, let's try to do that next time. I also like the sus2 variation. Yes, it's always a beautiful one, right? I talked about this at the beginning. That kind of gets the sort of happiness. It maintains the happiness of the tune, right? Of that super diatonic, because basically what Peter's saying, the sus2 thing with the third and the bass is basically a little turbocharged version of the regular triads with the third and the bass to just get that added note, which is always a good thing to do, right? Instead of you add that. That's what Peter's talking about, which is always a great option. What else can we do here? There is something out there that I do sometimes, but Peter, I don't even know if we play like that together. I think I do when I do solo, because it's easy to predict, right, what I can do. But sometimes I do that trick. In a few spots when you have that diminished, right? You go half step up and then back to the chord it's supposed to be, B minor. So I go C minor back to B. I talked about this trick before many times, but you can kind of force that one there, especially again if you're on a solo on a later chorus and want to kind of go crazy. You can do that, change things. You have to populate more chords into the space that you otherwise had before, so that's a possibility you can use. I have a comment here. David, I always love that inner voice line. Isn't that awesome? It's really beautiful, and it lands right on that variation, the dominant, right? That's cool. One thing that I particularly use all the time, and Peter we play that all the time, so I do that even when we play as a duo, is at the end of the bridge, that little G major over A, I do a little change there. I do this G major over G major and A. I just kind of play G minor over there, because that's a minor subdominant. It's like a different color, which is like, ooh, cool, Sometimes I do the dominant back, or just stay on that minor 4 thing, It's always a cool change in, change the air a little bit, Right, that's That's a known one. I do that one a lot. It's a cool one to do. When I play solo also, because you can't do that without talking about it and figuring it out, but since I have more control, sometimes I do a little descending chromatic thing over that. I do more, so I can go so I take more like of a longer path to get there, right? So I go instead of doing that, I can go, and I use the D note in the top as sort of my guide, right? The thing that sets the whole thing up, because I can do, I can keep that note there, and that's what I use to trigger that change in the harmony. So I can go, and get here. So what the heck is going on there? Well, G major. By the way, the F sharp minor, right, that you have in the song, you know, G sharp, G major, F sharp minor, G major, F sharp minor. A lot of times I do that chord, the D major over F sharp. Like instead of the 3 chord, I do the 1 chord, but I do with the 3rd in the bass and I add the 9th. So you have, and I doing this kind of 4th voicing thing. So instead of playing F sharp minor like this, I play with the D. So that becomes a D, add 9 with a 3rd in the bass, right? And that sets me up for the rest of the stuff, because then I can do F13 sus, which keeps that D, and then I do E7 that keeps my D there, and then the flat 2 thing, which is E flat major 7 with the D on the top, and then I arrive at the D. So that's sort of an alternate path you can do. Or then you can put that rhythmically, you know, whenever you want. I also use sometimes, a lot actually, the A dominant to the D at the end. I usually sometimes do a flat 9 sus there, which is cool. So I can go, that thing, or you can think of G minor over A, but A9 sus, right? A sus 4 flat 9. And I do that. So you can use that color there too, which is great. David asks, can you show the B section alto idea again, please? Yes, of course. In the bridge, you have, and then what I did was, every time I have that, because basically you're talking about dominant of the next chord, right? You have A, then dominant of B, dominant of D, then dominant of F sharp, dominant of A. Anytime you have that dominant, I am altering the dominant. So basically I'm doing, you know, sharp 9, flat 13 type of sound. So so it would be something like this, like, right, and then here, and then another factor, not only the bass that allows me there, and the fact that it's dominant that might tighten things up a little bit, you know, altogether, is that the melody is a flat 13 of that new chord. So that might help a little bit, you know. But that helps to kind of tie the whole thing together, that new sort of alternate version. Cool, David. Peter says, you need to transcribe that line and make a video about it. Which line? You're talking about this line? This one? think that's one you're talking about. If it's not, tell me. We got someone from Mexico. Thanks for the streaming. Hello from Mexico. Jorge, great to see you, brother. Thanks for being here on the stream from Mexico. Yeah, Peter, let me know if you're talking about that particular thing. But yeah, this is a possibility, right? To use that particular dominant tonic relationship on the bridge, which is beautiful. I showed you many examples of things you can do there. You can do the regular inversions as it is on the composition. You can do diminished version of those chords there. You can do altered version of these chords in there. And you can do a little more the same triadic inversions, but with a little add 9, which adds a little nice color to the thing. You know, those are possibilities there. And then you have also this path I showed you, alternate path, or the dominant flat 9, or the sus4 flat 9 here, and also at the end of the bridge, instead of G major, I can use G minor as a minor subdominant. Again, different colors. In those dominants in the last A, you can, you know, alter them if you want to, but it's a little out there. But those are the kind of tricks that I currently use on James, but they change, you know, quite a bit whenever I have some idea or someone influences me. When I play with Peter, I have all kinds of ideas. Peter Stolzman, piano player, my brother, who is in the stream now. We have a duo. We play together, and we play this song every concert. We play this one, and he always inspired me on different path because he thinks different things than I do. So it's like, oh, okay, here we go there. So let's move on a little bit to the improvisation part, to the solo part. That song is awesome in many levels in the improvisation section, because it's actually not a very simple tune, contrary to most people think. This is a quote from the late Michael Brecker, which is, you know, one of the top saxophonists of all time. He quoted publicly that James was probably the hardest song he ever had to work on. And it's very surprising to hear that, because he can play over anything. I mean, anything you throw at that guy, he would be able to do beautiful stuff. But I get the point, and Pat himself talks about that. James kind of gets you out. You have to get out of that bebop cycle thing. The bebop language doesn't really work here. You have to go through a total different thing. And if you're so used to play through the jazz changes and things like that, you get kind of trapped in this tune, and it's not very easy. Chris Potter is another one who's been quoted saying, it's like, I have to practice a lot to play this, because you have to play, your strategy has to be a little simpler, you know, more pop basically, and then there's a space to actually still negotiate the changes, but it's not that simple. That's why the composition is so great, right? So I'll play a little bit. I did record a little pass, 2 choruses of James, and then I will try to play over it, and then we're gonna comment a little bit. Cool? And then I will play a little solo version, and then I have to go travel to play in the mountains. So let's hear what I can come up with on this thing. So I'll solo, and then I'll explain a little bit of what I'm using there. Hopefully this thing will work with everything here. Okay, cool, perfect. Let me see if I can not record actually. I can just play that right now. Cool. The ending was kind of lame there, but you got the idea. Okay, what's going on there as far as the solos? A lot goes on there. Basically, D major is sort of the go-to sound, right? Through the whole thing, you can just kind of play D major and you're gonna be covered on that most of the time. Sometimes there I did use a little bit of a pentatonic at the end. Just your regular, good old, trusty major pentatonic in D. They will cover you. Sometimes I did play the minor pentatonic, like a bluesy. Immediately you get that bluesy sound, obviously. But as far as the main idea, I am trying to play the changes, right? That's something that the Metheny himself, I had the pleasure to study with him for a week. He told me, you gotta show me the changes in the playing. So that's something that he stressed a lot when he talks about improvisation. He's like, you really gotta show me the changes in this things. So James have this. So I am doing a sort of a diminished movement there. So when I'm playing here, right? I am basically playing over that beginning. I can think of F sharp 7 flat 9 or A sharp diminish or whatever you want to think, but that's a diminished sound I'm going for here. That part here can stay in D major and then go A, D, or I can actually address these chords individually. So I did kind of, when I was kind of here, I did play, think of G major and then F sharp minor, A minor, F sharp, G, A, and then dominant to D, right? I was kind of gravitating towards that. There was a moment there, I think second chorus or something, I did alter the dominant A to get the sound I was talking about. So I did play a B flat in there to get the sus4 flat 9 sound there. Cool, and then we got the bridge. The bridge again is the same deal. Show me the changes. I'm going for the diminish strategy on those dominants, right? Here. Then I stay diatonically in A major. To get to D, let me retune this guitar because we are in the altitude and dry weather and guitars don't like that. So here I stay very triadic on A major and then on that one I was thinking, you know, either diminish F or C sharp diminish, which is what it is. C sharp 7. You know, on the song is C sharp major over F sharp. I can think of dominant to F sharp, so that's what I thought here, which still gives a diminished kind of sound. And then here I am on E major, and I actually thought of dominant E to get me to A, so I did this is the rest. I can kind of go through the regular D. Then I'm kind of inside, but I did all the things here. I did A major, D major, and then E minor there. Then I'm back to D major. measure, and the second time I even play differently. That I did that trick I showed you before, the harmony. I did play G minor in my comping. I knew that, and I kind of phrase over that G minor. I use Dorian, G Dorian here. So I use over that G minor there, and then back here. Same thing. And then here I did definitely try to address those two, those two dominant chords there. I failed in one, and I kind of did the second one, and then yeah, that's it. So I did play hinted a little bit of that on the comping, but I couldn't do that much because the comp is just going to where it was going. So that's what I'm doing there as far as the soloing. Dave saying pentatonic, diatonic, arpeggios, superimposed chords, blues lines, and flash, a lot going on, but diatonic chains alternating with one spice at a time. Yeah, there's a lot going there. And if you do stay diatonic, it's also great. You can totally play that, and it's awesome. All right, let me try to do another pass on that and see if I can do some more stuff. See if I can come up with something better. Let's see. I think it was a little bit better as far as showing the changes, especially the dominant chords. I think I showed a little bit better, and the G minor stuff there kind of showed up a little bit better too. And that's it in terms of the harmony and everything, right? And shameless plug, I always forget to talk about that, right? All the stuff that, you know, the Sambafying, the groove and everything, and some of these tactics and strategies. I teach all that with the Brazilian Guitar Institute. It's my online program, and if you're interested in this stuff that I do, you definitely should book a call with me to see if we're fit to get you in the program. Brazilian Guitar Talk will get you there in the Brazilian Guitar Institute, or if you just want to go Brazilian Guitar Institute, you also get there too. So I really hope you do book a call so we can talk and see if you can get in. If you like this stuff, you like to learn, that's what I do there. Much more, but pretty much it. And I will play sort of the solo version of this with some of those tricks, but now I'll be a little more free to do more stuff. And I'll say bye for now because I have to actually go and travel 3 hours to play a show. But it's been great to be with you today. If you have any more questions, leave them because I can take a look when I finish this portion. And I will see you in the next one. And hopefully, if you want to level up and learn all the stuff that I teach, book a call with me to the Brazilian Guitar Institute, Brazilian Guitar Talk. And I hope to see you on the next one. And you know, let me know if you need anything. Or David says, thank you so much for doing this and this. It's really something great about playing the changes. Thank you so much, David. Yes, book a call with me, and then let's see if you're a good fit, if you like to enter the program, because as you can see, I do show a lot in these things, and especially the foundational Brazilian stuff. That's the bread and butter of the program, and which I'll show now, playing the fully Sambafy version of James with the rhythm, the grooves, and some of these harmonic tricks and some of these solo tricks, because I'll do a little pass trying to solo a little bit. Okay, let me just double check my tuning to make sure things are decently in tune. All right, so here's James one more time, and I will try to turn off the other mic so it doesn't bother us that much, the vocal mic, because it keeps popping in my guitar over here. So now pure guitar now. All right, here we go, James, one more time. Thank you so much. right, there was James, a fully sambified version. Oh, James, there was a trick at the end that I forgot to talk about. It's a Metheny thing that he does at the end, a minor version. It's like a different path that he does that. I played that, and then I also insert that different one that I do now recently, the coda. I put that chord as kind of like a stop to play the coda. And also a thing that he does that I use here, the coda goes to B minor, and sometimes does altered. I did that too. So those are the tricks. You got James, fully sambified. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much for being here with me. And again, if you want to explore this world, this universe, book a call with me, Brazilian Guitar Talk, and let's talk. Let's get you in the Brazilian Guitar Institute, which I hope you will be part of it. Cool. I hope to see you soon, and till the next time. Wonderful Saturday for you. Bye bye.